Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. As Panda series is going on, so we did some example of Panda in the previous recording. So today also we will look some more methods, some more functions, how we can perform some other operation with the Panda. So let's start without wasting the time. So I'm opening the PyCharm. Let's start from the first. So today we will look some method like what is the use of drop, how can we play with the index. So mainly here we are understanding how can we analyze the data. So as we have one file like data.csv file which are having some content. Okay, I will give the link of that. Okay, with that video description you can get it. Okay, so how to get a specific information that we are going to understand now. Okay, so what kind of information we want to get, how to analyze this data. Let's start with the example. Let me create a new file first for our exercise. So I'm giving the name is here Panda 3 example. Okay, so let's start here first. So what we are doing here, let me import first Panda. Okay, so for import we have to use this one here. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to read the data.csv file and we are making our own index. What could be the index? That will start from the I in range 1704. So I know that in my table, in my Excel file which I have right, that is having a 1704 rows, right? So 1704 rows is right, for it will make a one index, that is I. So that I will be having like a one index and that will be create a one column on it. That column name will be on column, OWN. That means it is a my on column something. So count these values should be correct, right? So that will be check it is there or not. So let me print it. Okay. Okay. Before that, let me do one thing. Let me display this Excel file directly. So we can understand how many column is coming by default and how many column is coming after this modification. Okay. So that's a simple for loop, right? So let's run it first. So we have like Panda 3 example, right? So where is the Panda 3 example? Yeah, let me run this. So see here, first I am getting that complete row like country, year, population, continent, life experience and GDP per capita, right? Everything we are getting here. Now what I have to do, I have created a one new column like on only that could behave as an index for me, right? So here in this example, right, you can see one more column is created like on and there it is starting with the 0. Right? So in this scenario, it is creating a new index that is coming from my range only. And here it is coming with the default index, which is coming from the file. So this column on column is not a part of the file, Excel file. That is created for experience purpose only. So if I want, we can do it. Like here is starting index with 0, right? So here is a column whose value is displaying here. And for this, right, what it is doing, it is getting the value from this loop with this particular range and it is going to display here like that. So here it is starting with the 0 because indexing is start with the 0 by default. If you want to make it 1, I will do one thing, I will make it here I plus 1. So then what happened, right? That indexing will not start from the 0, it will start from the 1 itself. So now you can see here, now it is started printing with the 1. But here you can see it is starting with the 0 only because here it is managing the auto indexing. Here it is managing the auto indexing and here it is managing the indexing which we are creating actually. So like that way it will work. So here we are using that how to create our own index like that. Okay. Want to drop it, how we can drop it. So here we are understanding the drop function takes two parameters. One is column name and second one is axis, right? So by default the values of axis is 0. So let me do it. Okay, so let me write this code here. So here what it is doing, continent is a one column. Continent is a one column in my data.csv file, right? In the CSV file, continent is a one column and here I want to drop it. After that I want to display this result. So I will to use here printf with the df. Okay, axis 0 and axis 1 means what? Axis 0 means it is representing the row. So let me write this as well. Okay, what does meaning of axis here? So axis equal to 0, that means represent the row only, represent the row. Okay, and axis 1 means it is representing the column. So here it is representing the column only, so that's why we are keeping it axis equal to 1. So continent will remove from this particular data which is already present in the Excel file. But let me tell you one thing here, this Excel file will not is going to change. This is only changing the visualization only, because here I don't want to read all file, I want to read this file according to my criteria, right? According to my criteria, because it is having a lot of information. I want to play with this particular file itself, right? So how does it work? Let's see. So let me run this. So this time you can see here, that is a new, right, file. Here you can see there is one column called continent, which is having Asia, Africa, some kind of continent, right? But you can see here also we are getting continent, because I think I did not store it somewhere. So let me do one thing, let me store it in the result, and result let me display here. Then you will get that complete result. So this time you can see that I am not getting any continent column, but previous we have a continent column, but here there will not be any continent column. The previously it was not working because it was taking the previous one only, because we did not store that somewhere. So now we have stored it, and it is saying okay, it is removing on the column basis. So axis 0 represent the row and 1 column represent the column only, right? 1 represent the column and 0 represent the row only, right? So that is the one thing we have. Other than that, we have we can set parameter, right, in place as well. What is the meaning of in place here? True and false. So we have a two type of data structures. One data structure is an immutable data structure, and second one is a mutable data structures, right? So here it is representing the mutable and immutable only. So the default nature of it in place is false only. Let's say, let me do it here. Okay, let me do it here. So what does it mean here? So here it is saying that drop column. So I want to drop these 3 column on GDP. Years +7, I think that is not a part of it. So let me remove it. So I want to remove 2 columns here, on and GDP, right? I think GDP per capita we have, right? On we have, and GDP per CAP capita, right? And axis equal to 1 and in place equal to true. So what does it mean? True and false. So whenever we are going to true, right, it is returning me the existing object only. And if it is going to here false, that means it is returning the new object for me, right? Like for example here, I don't have to store somewhere this result. I will show you that in the example. Let me run this with df. So here we are passing in place equal to true. So how does it affect? So here I am going to drop 2 column on and GDP per capita. Here I removed 1 column called continent, but here I am removing 2 columns only, right? Let's run this. So what is happening? You can see here the previous scenario, how many column we have? We have a country, and here we have this column, right? On we have, and we have a GDP capita also we have, right? But when you will see the latest result, right, that is the latest result, there I am not getting any on column and I am not getting any GDP per capita, but I am getting continent, right? I am getting continent, but here I am not getting continent. Why? Because here I restored that result in a different object. I restored this result in a different object. That's why this is not reflecting here, right? Now if I will pass here false, then what happen? Let me try with the false as well. Okay, understand clearly. So if you go here in the false, right, that time the result is not returning. So what happened, right? In this case, if I am going here in place equal to false, it is returning me a new result. It is returning me a new result where I am not storing it somewhere, right? So whenever you are passing here false, that means it will return you the new object. It will return a new object. It will be in the form of data frame. It will return a new data frame which is called immutable, right? Immutable means what? Let me note down that here. Immutable means always return new data frame, right? And mutable means always return same object, same data frame, right? So what is the meaning of returning? When we are performing some operation over there, right? Like for example, here I am saying please remove this column. So that means I want to reflect it. So if I am going here false, right, that means I have to store that in one variable that could be say anything like say re here, and then I have to display re, right? Because it is returning the new objects, then only I can get it. If I will go with this approach, then I will get the complete result here. You can see now that column is removed on and GDP per capita. But if I will go without storing it, right, that time it will give me a existing one only, because it will not return me it will return me existing object and it will not return me new object. So if it is returning new object, right, you have to store it somewhere. So you have to remember that in place equal to false, in place is a one attribute which does say that it may return new object or existing object, right? If it is a false, that is a default nature. The default what value we have false only, right? So if we'll keep it in place equal to false, that means it will give me a new object, right? If I will go with the true, that time we don't have to store it somewhere. So let me keep it in some other place, right? So this time I don't have to store it somewhere. I think T will be capital here, true, and here I can simply display here print of df, right? So if it is a true, it will return me existing object with modification, and here if it is false, right, that means it will return the new object. So that means in immutable what happen, right? In immutable, the existing object will not be modified. The existing object or existing data frame will not be modified. So always remember that when you will go with the predefined Python data structures, right, they are having a two type. Some of them are mutable, some of them are immutable, right? So we have to go with a different way. But in Panda, right, we have a specific features with this Panda attribute itself. Your choice, you want to make it mutable or immutable, right? So if you are going with this, existing data frame will not be modified. Existing data frame will not be modified. It will give me always new, right? It will give me always new. And mutable means it is giving me a same only, right? So that is the main purpose of this. Now let's go with some other example as well. So if you want to get a bill, start from the 1 only, right? Not with the 0, right? Next, can we make it index other than 0, 1? Yeah, we can do it. So let's do it once. So I'm making a data frame here. So first what I will do here, I will get this, start with the, so we have like sample object, okay. Let me do one thing. The previous code I may put on the comments. So here to understand in a better way, right, let me make it in comments, put that into comments. Okay, and till that everything that we have seen, right, drop result, and let me put that into a one comment section, so they will not execute again and again. Okay, for that purpose only we are doing it. So I'm just making it into a comment section. Now what we are going to do here, I make a one sample variable, and where I'm getting the head. So head we have already seen, right? What does it do? Let me control this as one here. So what it is doing here, so first we have read the CSV file, and here we want top 5 elements. So head we have seen, that was in a previous recording, right, previous session, that head always will give me a top 5 element. Now with the top 5 element, what I want to do, I want to set the index ABCD. So what does it do here? It will give me all the result with the index ABCD only, not like the previous index with 0, 1. So here we are playing with the index only. So according to my choice, I am just changing the index. So here you can see that index we are getting A, B, C, D, right? If we will not write this line right, then what happen? It will give me indexes from 0 to 5 only. See here it is giving me 0 to 4 because we have 5 element, right? So it will start from the 0 only. So whenever you want to change the index, you can directly go with the same, with index, and you can pass some value inside it. So according to that only your index will be reflect in your result, right? So that way we do work with this index. Okay. Now can we use one of the column as a row index? Yeah, we can use that. So like for example here we are doing what? Okay, let me copy this code here. So what we are doing here, country is the one column in my data.csv file. Now I want to make it as a index. So in place of displaying here ABC, right, I want to display that country as an index. So we can do that as well. So I can write here print with temp. Print with temp. So let me run this. So you can see here we have one country column. So in place of 0, 1, right, here it is displaying that country as a column. So we are getting country Sri Lanka, Zimbabwe, that all are as a index only here. So any column we want as an index here, we can make it. Suppose I want to make it year. So I have to simply pass here year only, right? Sometime it is happening, right? I may have a like same kind of sequence on it, right? That I want to make it as an index, we can do it, no problem. So here we are making index as our column of the existing CSV file, right? So that we have done. Now what if we want to access particular row? Okay, let me write it. It could be column only, access a particular column. So if you want to access particular column only, like for example in this data.csv file I have n number of columns, right? I have n number of column, country, year, population, life experience, GDP per capita, but I don't want to read all the file. I want to read only a specific file. Which file I want to read? That is a any column like that. So how can we read them? That we are going to understand. Okay, so let me go with this file. Okay, so that can be do by using this only. So here we are making a one simple variable which is going to return me that result. So what we are doing here, we are making a one column as a country. That column only I want to read. I don't want to read any other column. So what I will do here, I will make it into a print statement. So what does it do? It will go to this particular data frame, right, which is coming from the data.csv, and it will give me only country. I don't want all column, right? So here the result should be only country will display here. So you can see here that country only will display, that is starting from the 0 only. So df.country, and I want 20 element, right? So it is starting from the 0 to 1, right? So here I am getting only the country information with column information, right? And if you want to go with a specific column as well, that also I can go with this. Like for example this one, like here it is giving the top 20, right? Now I want to go with a specific row. Suppose I want to go with the 5,15 row only, 5,15 row of this particular SCR. So let me print it. So you can see here I am using here that country, df.country, and here we are getting the top 20 element, right? And after that I am getting 5,15. So what we can do here, let me comment this one, okay? Then only we can understand that. That time it is giving me from 5 to 15, okay? Because here we have a single column, right? Instead of that, let me operate with this complete row only. So here we have a like data.csv file, right? And with that only, let me do this df only. So with the df only I have to play. So with the df I want 5,15. So it is also giving me 5 to 14, right? Let me go with this one column 5,15. So that time we are getting the first only. So it is counting the first only, it is not counting the rest of them. 515 it is not counting. So that way it will work. right? Now let's start with the ILOC. ILOC and LOC, these are the two functions actually, which will also help you to get the value. So with that, actually I am not going with this 3, I will go with the 2 only. So with the 2 if you will go, right, it will start from there and it will end from here only, right? So that way 5 comma 15, it will start from the 5 and it will give, so it will not give me a complete column, I mean complete record. So here we are just kind of applying some filters, some conditions which will say, okay, give me a record from till 5 to 15, not beyond that. So that way it will display for me, right? Now let's go with the ILOC column. So what is happening with df.ILOC column if I will apply here? Okay, what is the full form of ILOC? ILOC full form is index location based section, right? Index location based. So here I is representing index and here LOC means location based selection. Location based selection. So what does it do? Whenever we are passing some value on it, right, it is giving me a one extra element of it, because in ILOC it will start indexing from the 1, right? What does it means? Here you can see that indexing start from the 0 only, right? With the default one, indexing start from the 0. If I will pass here suppose 4, so let me pass here df.ILOC 4. So what does it do? Let me keep this into a print statement here. So then what happened, right? 4 means it will give me a 4th of that rows. Okay, so that means, sorry, not 4th, the 5th of the row, because indexing start from the 0, right? So 0 to 4, that means it could be 5th index only. So it will count from the 0, right? Sorry, it will count from the 0 and it will count how many number of rows is affecting on it. So that way you can understand that whichever we are passing inside it, right, it will give me one extra row of it. It will start from the extra row of it, right? So we are giving here 4, that means 4 is not considering, it is giving me a fifth row of printed, right? So let me run this here. So this time here I am getting this 5th row. So ILOC is used to work with the rows actually directly, work with the row directly. So here I am giving the row number 4, right? So it is giving me complete information of the row. Complete information of the row, like what is the country of it, what is the year, what is the population, right? Not like a specific column, it is giving me complete row only, right? And if I will go with this, it will give me only column, like country, all the country information. But here I am getting that only that 5th row. Okay, so actually here we are passing the column, but here we are not passing the column. We are passing a simple values. Let me explain once. Whenever we are going with the ILOC, right? So here we are passing 5 comma colon 5 colon 15, and here we are passing symbol comma only. So it is going like that only. So here it is displaying me only 1, 5 and 10 row. So this way you can understand, if you want to display a specific row, so 1 is coming, 5 is coming and 10 is coming, right? So that way a specific row we are getting here, right? A specific row we are getting here. So that way we can play with this ILOC function. If you want to go with a specific row, if you will go with a single, right, with 4 only, that time it will give me a one extra value on it, like 5th row. If you will go pass here 4, it will give me 5th row. If you will pass here 10, that will give me 11th row, like that. Having a one more function like ILOC, we have a like LOC only, which full form is label based selections, right? Label based selection, that means whichever label it is have, because label start from the 0, label means index only, right? So that way it will work. So what does it mean? Let's to understand that. So here I am passing df.LOC like 4, right? If I will pass it, let me pass this into the print only. So that will display here. What does it do? It will give me a 4th index only. Let me comment this one if you want to get it complete result of it. So here it is giving me only 4th row. So name for T type object only. So country Sri Lanka, something like that. It will give me a 4th only. So that means it will consider that one. So it will give me 4th row printed, right? With that, if you want to go a specific row, we can go with the df.LOC like 1, 3 like that. So let me go with this as well. The print and this. So what we want? 1 colon 3. So what does it do? Let's see here. So here it is giving me a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3. Everything it is from 1 to 3, that is going to here. but you can understand here what is we are getting. We are getting the specific rows only which we are passing on it, 1, 5, 10, right? So 1, 5, 10, that means it will give me a first row, fifth row and 10th row, and here it is giving me a range of it from 1 to 3, right? So that will give me all kind of row like that. So that is about in this session, guys.